All right, welcome to the Wolf Report. If I can speak today on this Monday, 12 p.m., 12:01 now, Eastern Daylight Time. Of course, the top of the news is still ongoing news reports coming in about the death of Senator Lindsey Graham. We talked a lot about that on the morning show this morning. Also wanted to mention, I failed to this morning, Sam Neill. Remember him from Jurassic Park? He's dead at 78. He had battled cancer for some time. He had been cancer-free. Announcement just months ago. So I don't know the cause. I guess it was ongoing for cancer. Those things can come back. Excuse me, sometimes. So really enjoyed the movies. He was in lots of things, but really enjoyed the movie. If you watch Jurassic Park or any of them, he was there. And yeah, Senator Graham as well said he wasn't feeling well. Some reports are saying aortic tear. But nonetheless, he has passed away as well. Special elections going for that. Another on the other side of the aisle, with the stepping down of his campaign by Graham Plattner. There was an article in Newsweek about an update to the process to replace him on that ticket. 8 candidates could be in that race for the main Democrat nominee in the midterm elections. The party has said, following the decision by Mr. Plattner to step aside after facing challenges of assault, his Senate campaign collapsed after that announcement. The battleground for Maine against incumbent Republican Susan Collins, who's been there since 1997, is crucial for the Democrats' chances of winning the U.S. Senate November midterm elections. Of course, that's the battle for both sides. Democrats face a tight timeline because under state law, it is only until July 27th at 5 p.m. to submit a new nominee. Maine's Democratic Party will hold a convention on July 25th where candidates can be nominated from 601 delegates. Of those, 101 will be members of the party's state committee previously elected to their positions. The other 500 will be from the state's 16 counties, with the number of delegates each county elected, the county elects, based on turnout from the 24 primary. In a video post on X, Maine Democrats announced some big updates from here on the ground in Maine. It said that 4 candidates had submitted their declaration of intent to run for U.S. Senate, and another 4 told us they were getting ready to file soon. Local outlet Maine Public reported that more than likely that they were going to join the competition in coming days. In just the first 24 hours, we've received over 2,000 submissions from Mainers. I never heard it played said like that. Mainers in all 16 counties to be either a delegate to the nominating convention or to vote for delegates by participating in their local county nominating meeting. In a separate statement on its website, Maine Democrats explained the steps for picking the nominee for the midterm elections on November 3rd. After Senate candidates submit their intent to run and collect signatures to qualify for the ballot, the state's 16 counties will convene the special nomination meetings on July 18th and 19th, where participants will vote to elect delegates. The nominating convention on July 25th at the Banger Cross Insurance Center will see the 601 delegates vote to select the new nominee. Voting will be done in rounds until one candidate wins the majority, with the lowest vote getter eliminated after each round. The party has defended not holding a snap primary given the compressed timeline they have now. These circumstances are unprecedented, but our state party is ready and capable of rising to this challenge, in a statement by the main Democrats. The three Democrats who finished second, third, and fourth in the June gubernatorial primary have declared their candidacy after Plattner said he was dropping out. They would be former Maine CDC Director Nirav Shah of Brunswick, former Senate President Troy Jackson of Allagash, and Secretary of State Sheena Bellows. So a little bit of news there. This will and could have a bearing on the national state of elections. This is a big one. It's she's being Susan Collins, of course, is wanting to stay, in the running for that. I am sure. Over the weekend, ongoing attacks by the United States military on Iranian targets after their attack on a cargo ship has resulted in over 140 sites being targeted by the U.S. military in use of planes, missiles, drones. They've hit land and sea targets, with a lot of them taking up the coast. They're looking for the launchers, places where they make the drones, barracks, other things used by the ROGC. So you're seeing a lot of that, happen on operations after the memorandum of understanding is still in place, but is effectively dead in the water, no pun intended, but since both sides are now basically fighting again, and we'll see what happens with that. Senator Graham had just returned from Ukraine, where he spoke to Zelensky the day before, came home and said he didn't feel well, and then obviously passed away after 911 was called. We've seen the images of the ambulance there and taking him to the hospital. This will also have a major effect on the national scene as far as elections, and this is a big one. He had, and where he was standing with, in helping the Republicans maintain that control, and was a staunch supporter of the president. After at some point really not being that big of a supporter, he had returned to be his closest supporter. So this seat will be very important to the Republicans, and the other seat against Susan Collins for the Democrats. We're in that season, midterms coming, things are going to heat up, and they're running out of time. After all, November is just around the corner. The year is flying by. They do not have a lot of time, to do much here with that. In the final hours, like I said, Lindsey Graham said that he didn't feel well. The president said he had spoke to him a few hours before. He said he just felt tired, but he felt fine. So we will see. From the Daily Mail in the UK, the U.S. was warned of a plot to kill the president in Turkey before he decided to avoid flying back on new Air Force One. The president said it was just to stay in line, but it was obvious that that plane does not have the protection that the others do. And so it was left there at bases for others to look at. But there was definitely a viable threat to his life and with the ongoing operations against Iran. And so we'll see. Another interesting, Ukraine has been lighting up Moscow, in and around Moscow and around the country, all sorts of energy. Fuel crises, great shortages, have caused brawls in the nation. In an article from the Daily Mail, as Ukraine long-range rock sparked more petrol shortages and chaos, Vladimir Putin and his family might jump out of a window, according to senior Estonian minister. Foreign Minister Margus Koshna made the comment in an interview with the Deutschland on topic of Russia's faltering performance with the war in Ukraine. Even among the oligarchs, more and more are doubting Putin's war. Many who spoke of a victory a year ago no longer believe it. It comes as Ukraine is striking Russian energy infrastructure with an unprecedented rate. They definitely have been more successful of late. I've said before, I suspect help from others. in the technology here. Vladimir Zelensky's intensified drone campaign triggered Moscow's worst fuel crisis in decades. More than half of Russia's regions have been forced to impose strict limits on fuel sales, with disgruntled residents queuing up for hours and getting into dramatic brawls at petrol stations. Putin could change his goals and enter into serious negotiations if he acts rationally, Tishkoshna said. It's just as possible that one day he'll jump out of a window. His family, after all. Things like that happen in Russia. Well, yeah, we know, but they usually are pushed. Kind of tells you that's some Russian humor there, or humor from the region, but we know how that happens. Since the beginning of 26, Russia's refineries have been hit at least 194 times, an 11-fold increase from the same period the previous year, according to data from the Rokin Consulting, a Polish analytical group monitoring the war. In June, Kyiv hit Moscow's their Sol oil refinery, several times, sparking huge blazes that set clouds of smoke billowing over the capital. The intensification of Kyiv's aerial campaign comes as Zelensky announced that his forces would make a concerted push this summer to try to compel the Kremlin dictator to end his years-long war of aggression. The Ukrainian leader said his military was carrying out a 40-day influence operation with its long-range strike units to try and force Putin into the negotiating table. By now, every Russian feels that this war isn't happening somewhere far away, but has reached their own country. On the efforts of the U.S. president to broker peace, the minister said Putin primarily wasted Trump's time, adding that the talks have effectively failed. About whether Russia would consider an imminent attack on Poland or the Baltic states, Tishkoshna dismissed the idea. I consider a large-scale invasion in the coming weeks to be out of the question. Russia lacks the resources for that. Nevertheless, a warning, Russia remains a dangerous country, and provocations are always possible. So it has had an effect. Russia's been buying oil off of the open market. We shouldn't even have to do that. As Kyiv tightens the noose around oil supplies by targeting Russia's refineries and tankers, new filling station fights are erupting. Lord. Doesn't matter what country, right? Multiple drivers joined a brawl in Penza amid accusations of motorists jumping the line. The Moscow woman driver was in tears as she claimed a knife-wielding man had slashed her tires, Lord, accusing him of leapfrogging her in the line. In fear inside her car, she asked him, "Are you an idiot or something? What are you doing?" She said, "This guy just ran out, threatened me with a knife, and slashed my tires because he thought I was cutting in front of him at the petrol station." Tensions is exploding over chronic and worsening shortages of petrol and diesel due to precision Ukrainian strikes on key oil facilities, which are now causing serious harm to the economy. On Monday, 15 more ships, mainly shadow fleet tankers breaking Western sanctions, were hit by kamikaze drones in the Sea of Azov. This takes the toll to more than 100 in the past 8 days and further strangles supplies to annexed tourist region Crimea. Images show tankers being hit and in flames with a total failure of Russian air defenses. Overnight, drones also struck the Kavkaz oil and passenger port linking Russia to the Black Sea Peninsula. Ukraine has vowed to stop the strikes if Putin halts his debilitating war, but he refuses to do so at an increasing cost to Russians. In a spectacular new strike Monday, the major oil depot in Stavropol was ignited in a fireball, followed by towering flames, further denuding Russian supplies. Dozens of key refineries and oil storage sites have been put out of action. Russian sources also said that 350 Ukrainian drones were flying towards Moscow. Air defenses downed many of the incoming unmanned planes, but debris from one crashed in the residential building in Pioneersky, Russian regions, killing 3 and injuring others. Russian rage over the strikes on oil supplies spilled over into pro-Putin's propaganda TV shows. Leading Kremlin trumpeter Vladimir Solovov demanded harsh revenge strikes on Ukraine. They're attacking our ships in the Sea of Azov, and they're telling NATO countries, we don't care. We'll attack in the Mediterranean too, he ranted. Why aren't we destroying every ship heading to and from Ukraine? Not just the ports, but any shipping connected to Ukraine should be destroyed, and we don't care what flag they're flying. And what's more, we have submarines. What's stopping us from using submarines to destroy ships heading for Ukrainian ports? It's amazing. It has been effective. I got to give Zelensky credit. Like I said, I know he's getting a lot of help from Germany and others. I suspect maybe even the United States, but they're not going to say that. But there is a lot of precision here, and they are definitely hitting home better than they ever have before. They've hit at near Moscow before and right in Moscow proper, very limited, and that was a long time ago. So we'll see. Um, don't know. How about some good news? Let's get a little good news in um, before we go. Um, Interesting for all you hikers and walkers. Someone said that their dad just walked the equivalent of Earth's circumference. It took him 14 years and 49 pairs of New Balance. An Indiana man accomplished the unimaginable after setting an audacious goal 14 years ago to walk the Earth's circumference, 24,901 miles. It took dedication and consistency over the course of thousands of days, but Russell Mumper met that goal on June 25th. He didn't finish it with anything fancy, his daughter Shannon Mumper told GNN. That's the Good News Network, by the way. Well, Mom held up a checkered flag and he crossed the finish line with our two family dogs on the driveway. As the vice president of research at Indiana University, Mumper is familiar with the scientific method, so he tracked every statistic throughout his journey that began in 2012, including pairs of sneakers he'd worn out. It's not something he did for fame or recognition. He fell in love with walking and hiking and stayed committed to the goal for over a decade. Shannon says it's a testament to his nature. My dad is the most hardworking man I know. He completed the feat at 60 years old. Hooray for us 60-year-olds. While working full time, the family even moved their residence across state lines 3 times during this period. Russell simply gravitated to one of the healthiest ways to escape everyday stress. I had no idea how long it would take. Nearly 14 years later, after logging 5,900 separate walks and taking approximately 55 million steps and wearing out 49 pairs of trail shoes, thank you, New Balance, I reached my goal, he said. Along the way, I averaged about 5 miles per day and accumulated enough total elevation gain and loss to equal climbing and descending Mount Everest. This is amazing. 46 and a half times. We are extremely proud of him, his daughter Gus. Well, you should be. That's pretty neat. You know, well, they always say attack it, the elephant one bite at a time, and that's what he did. He took it one bite at a time. Also, I wanted to cover a little bit about the Major League Baseball draft. I didn't say anything about this morning on the morning show either. And I'll give you a few of the picks. We'll put this on screen. And we'll get down to, we won't get through the whole of it, but we will get through a few of those picks, these young men. So it happened over the weekend as well. Didn't get as much press. Number 1, Chicago White Sox get Roque Pulowski, shortstop, UCLA. Somebody's got to be number 1, and he was. The Rays took Grady Emerson's shortstop as well, Fort Worth Christian High School, Texas. Twins, a Georgia Tech catcher, Von Lackey. Congratulations, young man. The Giants took Jackson Flora from UC Santa Barbara, number 4. The Pirates, Derek Carril, center fielder, LSU, another SEC. Kansas City Royals, Zion Rose, left fielder, Louisville. Orioles, Eric Booth, Jr. from Oak Grove High School, Mississippi. Amazing to go straight from high school there. Another Georgia Tech center fielder, Drew Burris, went to the Athletics. The Atlanta Braves, there they are. A.J. Garcia, center fielder, Virginia. It is said that his power isn't quite there yet. It remains to be seen how much of it will come as a pro. But this is a hitter who puts the bat on the ball about as well as anyone in the draft, and that plays at any level. Rockies, shortstop, Kentucky, Tyler Bell, Nationals, Chris Hosopian, second base, Texas A&M. The Angels, Jared Grindlinger from Huntington Beach High School. He's a right fielder, left-hand pitcher. St. Louis Cardinals, Trevor Condon, center fielder, Etowah High School, Georgia. Marlins, Jacob Lombard, shortstop, Gulliver Prep High School, Florida. And from Arkansas, catcher, Arizona Diamondbacks, Ryder Helfrich. There you go. The Rangers got Gio Rojas, left-handed pitcher. Stoneman Douglas High School, Florida. It's a very well-known school for athletes there in baseball. Houston Astros, Logan Hughes, left fielder, Texas Tech. The Reds, Justin LeBron, shortstop, Alabama. Cleveland, some still say Indians, but the Guardians, Lean Peterson, right-handed pitcher, Florida. Red Sox, Jay Schaffner. North Carolina shortstop. Padres, Coleman Borthwick, right-handed pitcher, South Walton High School, Florida. Another one. Detroit Tigers, Cameron Flukie, right-handed pitcher, Coastal Carolina. They really came on the scene as well as a school that, for football and baseball. Cubs, Cade Townsend, right-handed pitcher, Mississippi. Mariners, Ace Reese, third base, Mississippi State. The Brewers, Trey Ebel, shortstop, Corona High School, California. Prospect promotion incentive picks, Atlanta Braves got Carter Beck, center fielder, Indiana State. New York Mets got Carson Wiggins, right-handed pitcher, Arkansas. Astros got Jake Cordell, right-handed pitcher, Notre Dame. We'll stop there. We'll pick up on that during the Wolf Nation Sports. But I thought it was interesting. Give those high schoolers or college players, that's their draft. That's their big day, as they got selected to fulfill their dream. Shout out to them and others who have been drafted, and we hope that they have a wonderful career. Wish them the best. It's great for their families. I know they're very proud of them, and as well. So we'll see tonight. Have a great afternoon. Avoid storms and heat if you can. We'll see you tonight for PNN News, Wolf Nation Sports, and probably one other show. We still have not set up the studio yet. It's just a lot of things going on, and we've got to continue uploading into our Roku. It is active. We're working on that. Hope to get that all finalized this week. We will let you know when it is and go live there. So we're working on a lot of things, and it was a busy weekend. So birthday weekend for my granddaughter. So those things come first. But we'll get to it. Take care. Have a wonderful day. This is the Wolf Report with Dave, a.k.a. the Cornbread Man. We'll see you tonight. Take care.